Hello and welcome to another edition of On Call. I'm Tabor Aiken, Public Information Officer for the Lakeville Fire Department. The goal of this program is to educate and inform the citizens of Lakeville about how Lakeville's all-volunteer fire department trains and responds to emergencies. Let's take a look at what's coming up on this edition of On Call. We'll learn about the State Fire School that the City of Lakeville and the Lakeville Fire Department hosted. On Chief's Corner, Fire Chief Scott Nelson will tell us about the annual open house. We've got a question from Barb in Lakeville for Ask Tabor. And did you know, we'll give you some of the in-depth details on the fire school that Lakeville hosted. Scratch learns about holiday safety, and we'll wrap things up with consumer safety checklist. I'm here with Fire Chief Scott Nelson. We're out at the Lakeville South of the River Fire School. Chief, there's been a lot of activity in the city of Lakeville, lots of different fire vehicles cruising around. Could you tell us what's going on?
Well, Tabor, what we did is we were challenged with being efficient with putting on a school and getting our firefighters trained. And when we were discussing outside training, which we'd like to send all our firefighters to, we found out that a lot of firefighters would love to get the additional training but didn't want to spend the weekends away from their families.
Okay.
So we thought, let's try to bring the school to Lakeville. And so that kind of started the ball rolling, and then we started looking at the numbers and the costs, and actually it's actually more cost effective to bring the training here. And we were able to do it only by inviting the other area departments, which there's benefit to having them as well. So we were able to bring a good quality school, and we offered 4 classes this year. And looking forward to doing it again next year. It's been great, the instructor's been great, and we were able to partner with Riverland Technical College and to pull this thing off.
So you're building on the idea of state fire schools. So give us a little background on what state fire schools mean. You talked about folks going away for the weekend, you talked about bringing it here. What has that involved in the past?
Typically, there are several colleges within the state that will offer what they call a state fire school, where they offer a 12-hour or 4-hour segment classes, and all the fire departments go to that facility to be trained.
Okay.
We kind of did a reversal and says, okay, we will have the same instructors, the same quality instruction, and we will invite them to Lakeville here, and so that we don't have to send our firefighters out. We were able, typically in a year we'll only send 10 or 12 people to a school. This class alone, we had about 35 of our Lakeville firefighters. Over a third of our department has attended this valuable training.
Fantastic. Well, the next thing we're going to do is talk to one of the instructors and then talk to some of the participants in a couple of the classes. So
great.
Thanks for getting us started.
I'm glad to hear it, and I think that this has been so successful. We'll be here again next year doing the same thing, different classes.
Terrific. Thanks a lot, Chief.
Thank you, Tabor.
I'm here with Brian Staska from Riverland Community College. Brian, welcome to On Call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Great. Well, we've got a lot of activity taking place here with the Lakeville South of the River Fire School. To start off, why don't you give us just a little introduction about yourself, your experiences, and Riverland Community College.
Okay. Well, as you said, my name is Brian Staska. I'm with Riverland Community College down in Austin. We have campuses in Austin, Albert Lea, and Owatonna. And our job is to help the fire departments in the southeast corner of the state, or wherever we happen to be called, to come up and help with training issues and everything from basic skills, recruit skills, all the way up to leadership, specialized rescue stuff, and stuff like that. We were asked by Scott Nelson, Chief of Lakeville here, to put on a state fire school, or a smaller school, and one that allowed people to drive in and participate and kind of save departments some cash.
Okay.
And in doing so, we decided to call it the South of the River School, and we've got about 75, 80 firefighters here in 4 different classes that we're presenting this weekend.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk a little bit more about those 4 classes, because you're working on the auto extrication class,
Yep.
which is some activity taking place behind us here. Why don't you talk a little bit about what the 4 offerings this weekend were?
Okay. We've got the advanced auto here, and so with advanced auto, we're going past the basic skills. We've talked about a lot of the new vehicles and stuff like that, some new techniques in dealing with the new steels, and then we were doing scenarios this morning, allowing the students to really be challenged on the things that we taught. We're going to do some more stuff with stabilization here before our day's done. We've got some leadership element classes with a Leadership 3, which is a National Fire Academy class. We've got an aerial operations class, a class that usually only see about 2-3 times throughout the state offered in a larger aspect like this. Very necessary for setting up the equipment properly, the aerial platform ladders, the telesquirts, just the regular ladder trucks. And then we've got an advanced pump class. So once again, we've taken it past the basic pumps, and what do we need to do now as an advanced pump class?
Brian, talk a little bit about how you identify instructors for these classes and who you've had out here in Lakeville teaching the 4 classes that you offered this weekend.
Well, I was selected, I'm the one doing the advanced auto as the instructor. I've traveled the country taking classes from some of the leading auto extrication experts in the country, and been doing this for the state of Minnesota for many, many years as far as extrication, advanced extrication, and all the aspects of it. Our other instructors were all selected by me. We were looking for people, leaders in their field. They're all firefighters or been firefighters. One of our people doing one of the classes is many years in the business and actually retired.
Okay.
So they're all highly qualified. Been working for what we call the MINSCU or the college system for many years in their field doing just those things. A lot of times an instructor, they just have a passion for what they're doing, much like mine for AutoX, and,
sure.
And they excel. They've taken it to that extra degree and do a great job in doing it.
Fantastic. So you're talking about people with a lot of experience, a lot of passion, really want to be here and want to pass their information on to the other folks and the folks that are out in the field doing the work.
Exactly. And you know, the people we've selected for this in the leadership class, pump class, aerial ops class, myself included, like I said, it's all passion.
Wonderful. We're talking about passion. We've got obviously people that have given up their weekend to come take these classes. We got firefighters from across the South Metro, but pretty much all over the place here. What kind of feedback are you getting from these folks?
So far it's been very, very good. Some of the things I've heard right away was, as we're setting this school up, it was great to see a school that's close by, someplace different, didn't have to pay for a hotel. We did this no frills, so we were able to go a little bit cheaper. No offense to vendors, we didn't have vendors here. We did box lunches compared to a catered lunch and stuff like this, so we were able to lessen the expense to the departments and still give a quality education to the students. And just the feedback I've had from my students in my class so far has been outstanding. You know, don't like to brag, but they've been saying, gosh, Brian, we've been learning a lot already, and the day's not even over yet. So.
Fantastic. Well, I can speak from personal experience because I was in the Leadership 3 class, and that was a great class, and some good activities and some opportunities to look critically at the work that we're doing and think about how, when you're in a leadership role, you want to impact that work and what kind of changes need to be made. So,
yep, cool.
So thank you very much, Brian. Thanks for joining me on Call, and appreciate your work out here this weekend.
Well, it's a pleasure. We're looking forward to being back again next year with the school, and we're making plans already. We're going to ask the students what they want and hope to see them all back next year.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm here with Steve Glinsky, firefighter from Lakeville Station 4. Hi, Steve. Welcome to On Call.
Hi, Tabor. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful.
So you were participating in the Lakeville Fire South of the River Fire School, and what class were you taking?
We took a Leadership 3 class, which you know, is a bit different than some of the other offerings in that it's more about the soft skills, right? Learning how to become a leader versus some of the more practical classes, such as the auto extrication, aerial, and pumping that was going on. I think it was an excellent opportunity not only to work with other departments in the city or in the surrounding cities, and learn from maybe some of their officers. We had assistant chiefs down to firefighters like myself. So just that interaction helps you learn new techniques, new leadership styles, and then the coursework itself covers leadership and mentoring, how to deal with certain scenarios in your fire department and deal with different personalities in your fire department.
So if you had the opportunity to take a class like this again, especially if it was hosted in the city of Lakeville, would you do it?
Well, I think it's great. You know, it's closer to home. You don't spend so much time away from home, but it gives you the opportunity to not only work with the people in your department, which we do on a month, you know, every couple of weeks anyhow, but really get outside and work with the other agencies, which is really realistic to scenarios that happen in our communities. The situations lend themselves where we're going to have multiple departments, and it gives you a great experience to work with their leaders and with their upcoming leaders. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to grow as a department, and in fact for the whole county's emergency services really to grow and mature.
Terrific. All right. Thanks very much for joining us, Steve.
You bet. Take care.
Here's a reminder for all of our on-call viewers. If you send in a question for Ask Tabor, it can be any question about anything having to do with the fire department. You might win a t-shirt. So far, we've had 3 t-shirt winners, and they're wearing those t-shirts very proudly, and we're looking for another entry. So send your entry in. We'll read through them, pick one that we'll use on the air, and if we pick yours, you'll win a Lakeville Fire Department t-shirt.
No cookies till Mommy gets back.
I know.
More than 300 fires are set by children each year. Open your eyes to dangers in your home. Paid for by the Minnesota Fair Plan.
Earlier in the program, we talked about the State Fire School that the City of Lakeville and the Lakeville Fire Department hosted. Here's some additional information about that State Fire School. Did you know that there were 22 fire departments participating in it, with over 78 students, ranging from firefighters to assistant chiefs, participating in the classes? Lakeville sent 33 firefighters, and some of the other fire departments that participated included Apple Valley, Burnsville, Cannon Falls, but ranged all the way to cities like Eagan, Farmington, Hopkins, all the way out as far as Maple Grove, New Germany, the Red Rock Fire Department, and the Winona Fire Department, totaling 22 different departments. By hosting this, the Lakeville Fire Department was able to save money. For the same price that it would have cost to send 1 firefighter to a state school elsewhere in the state, we were able to send 3 firefighters to the fire school hosted in the city of Lakeville. We got a lot of positive feedback from the firefighters that participated in the class, and on behalf of the Lakeville Fire Department, we want to thank everyone, including the Lakeville Public Works, Lakeville Police Department, water treatment facility staff, and anyone else who helped to make this class the wonderful success that it was. Thank you.
Hi, welcome to another segment of Chief's Corner. Chief Scott Nelson here with the Lakeville Fire Department, and I'm here today with, or actually tonight, with Jay O'Connell, our fire inspector, and he's kind of our fire prevention expert with the department. As you can see behind us, we're at our open house, and I'd like Jay maybe to give us a little history on Fire Prevention Week and what this year's theme is all about.
Okay. Well, with Fire Prevention Week, it's actually started because of the Chicago fire. And so it's always held the first or second week of October, okay? And it's nationally presented from coast to coast. Lakeville participates in this. We do a fire prevention poster competition for the 4th grade. So we go into all the schools, we visit 13 schools, we do about 60 presentations to different classes of children. And then we top it off with our fire prevention open house, which we promote during the school. During this time, we're trying to get people to change out their smoke detectors if they're 10 years old. We're talking to people about getting carbon monoxide detectors in their home, because now you need it with the new Minnesota law that it's got to be within 10 feet of your bedroom. We're also giving the public a chance to see firefighters in action. We've set up a ladder truck, rescued somebody off of a roof. We're going to cut up a car accident and try to show people what it's like so they don't have to look when we're having a real emergency.
And it's great because even Sparky's here tonight.
Sparky has made it out tonight.
Yep, and that's a good idea. So what is this year's theme?
This year's theme is Be Fire Smart, Don't Get Burned.
Well, as you can see, we're going to go enjoy the rest of this open house, talk to some of the citizens we serve, and try to share some of that fire safety experience and conversation with them. So on behalf of the Lakeville Fire Department, Chief Scott Nelson, thank you, Jay, for organizing this whole week or this whole month for us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Could one of these people start a deadly fire? Careless smoking is the #1 cause of fire fatalities. However, most fires are preventable. So, will one of these people start a deadly fire? It's up to them. You can protect your family and your home from fire. Visit GetYourButtOutside.com. Brought to you by the Minnesota State Fire Chiefs Association and the Minnesota Fair Plan.
And now it's time for you, the viewer, to ask a question, where you have the chance to win a t-shirt in another exciting edition of Ask Tabor.
For this edition of On Call, we've got our Ask Tabor question from Barb in Lakeville. And Barb wants to know, Tabor, how many hours of training do firefighters have to go through each year to be able to remain on the job? Barb, we're going to answer that question in a couple of different ways. We'll start off with the NFPA requirement. NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association, and they've got a large number of guidelines set out for what firefighters need to be able to know and do. And they state that firefighters need to have 24 hours of training in 24 months. So approximately 12 hours of training in a year is the way that would break down. And that's just for one basic certification. That would be Firefighter 1. All of the Lakeville firefighters have Firefighter 1, but they don't stop there. Most of the firefighters have Firefighter 2, and then there are a large number of other certifications that firefighters have. For example, first responder, which enables us to have the appropriate training to respond to medical emergencies. And then firefighters are trained in ice rescue and a variety of other things. What that means for training is that the more certifications you have, the more training you have to have so that you stay up on those skills as they change and evolve over time. So, Firefighter 1 starts us off at 12 hours. Like I said, firefighters in Lakeville have more than just Firefighter 1, so they have to have more training. Practically, what this looks like is that if you go to a Lakeville fire station on a Monday, you're going to see training taking place. 2 Mondays out of every month, there's training for all the firefighters, and then on a third Monday, there's training for all of the officers. That's a separate training just for them, and the trainings last approximately 2.5 hours. There's training at night or training during the day. It varies depending on which firefighters are participating in that training, and there's a rotation set up so that everybody gets the same training throughout the course of 1 year. Ranges probably a lot more than those 12 hours that are required by NFPA, but like I said, there's a lot more training out there than what the NFPA requirement mandates. Hopefully this helps. Thanks for your question, Barb. We've got a t-shirt headed your way, and encourage other viewers to send us their questions so we can send you a Lakeville Fire Department t-shirt. Thanks, Barb.
The snow is falling, and I'm a turning and a twisting. Hey, how you doing, the table?
I'm doing really well, Scratch. What song are you singing there?
Hey, it's the holiday season, and I got my little holiday tree here. But, I wanted to know a little bit about fire safety during the holidays, because, this is my first holiday tree, and I don't want to have any mishaps during the holiday season. So I got a couple questions for you. Hope you can answer them for me.
I will do my best, Scratch.
All right, first of all, hey, I got a live tree here. What do I have to remember about that when I have that in my house during the holidays?
Well, you've already done one thing right, which is pick out a really good tree. You want to pick out a live tree, make sure it's not been on the lot too long so that it's going to have green needles and isn't going to dry out too quickly. And then you're going to bring it into your house and set it up, and you're going to water it all the time so that it always stays moist and green and doesn't start dropping a lot of needles. You don't want that tree to dry out.
What am I going to water it with?
That's a good question, Scratch. I would suggest watering it with water.
Unbelievable.
I know, surprising,
what a
isn't it?
concept.
Yes. So under the tree, you'll have a small dish, and you just want to make sure that that's always full of water.
Very good, very good.
Yes.
Now, how about when we get rid of the tree? Should we just kind of, I don't know, light a match and let it go up?
Absolutely not,
No?
Scratch. You want to take the tree out of your house, and if you contact your local garbage hauler, they'll probably take it away for you. I bet they have a set date when they'll come pick it up.
Oh, well,
you
is
don't
it-
want to keep it in the house too long, though. So after the holidays and after you're done using the tree,
Yeah?
you want to pack it up, bring it outside so that the garbage hauler can pick it up. Again, you don't want that dry tree in your house.
Yeah, that's right, because it gets all dried up and crinkly. And
Yes.
it could pose a fire hazard to consumers.
Absolutely, it could pose a fire hazard to a consumer like you.
Absolutely. Now, hey, we talk about the flames. Hey, should we not be burning candles in the house during the holidays?
Well, you know, candles are okay. A lot of people like to have candles in the house, but you need to make sure that the candle is in a safe, stable holder, that it's away from anything that might catch on fire, like underneath the countertop or paper products. A tree would be a good thing to keep it away from. So one important thing to remember, Scratch, is that when you have the candles going, there's always somebody, an adult, in the room with the candles. So that you don't light a candle in one room, leave and go to another room. You need to be watching that flame so that if there's a problem, you can address it, extinguish it right away.
How long should I watch the flame? Because if I watch it too long, I'll get hypnotized.
You might get hypnotized. That might be entertaining for some of us
Yeah.
that really like you.
Yeah.
But what you should do is be in the room when the candle's going. You don't necessarily have to watch it like I'm watching you,
Yeah.
but you need to be in the same room with the candle going so that you can be aware of that flame.
Gotcha.
And if there's a problem, deal with it.
Sorry about interrupting there.
Not a
But I got
problem.
another question. You're doing
Okay,
such a good
okay.
job. I want to get all these questions answered. How about fireplaces? You got that big flame.
Yes.
Firing in the fireplace. Should we not have fires?
No, fires are okay.
Yeah?
You need to make sure that the fireplace has got the right setup for, a lot of people have gas fireplaces, so you're talking about a wood burning fireplace.
Yes, sir.
So the first thing you want to do before that season gets started is make sure that that fireplace is clean, especially the chimney. And the
Yeah.
best person to do that is probably a chimney cleaner. Can come clean that chimney out. You want to have that done on a regular basis.
How about if I can get Dick Van Dyke to come here and do it? He was a
Well,
chimney sweep in Mary Poppins.
He was a chimney sweep, but I'm not
That's
sure if
probably
he's
before you
a-
were born, though, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was before I'm born, but I'm familiar with Dick Van Dyke's role
Okay.
in Mary Poppins.
Okay, good.
But you might want to have somebody that's a little bit better trained and does it professionally. I'm not sure if that was Dick Van Dyke's profession.
Well, he's in his early 80s now, so we don't want him falling off the
Yeah,
roof.
that's a good point. So have a chimney sweep come or chimney cleaner. They can clean that chimney, make sure it's clean, and then it's safe, and then you can have those fires. One thing that you don't want to throw in there is wrapping paper. And
I
know
was
it's
just going to
tempting.
ask you. You must have been
There you
reading
go.
my mind.
I
Ted.
am reading your mind.
Yeah.
You don't want to throw the wrapping paper in there into the fire. It's
Yeah.
going to burn very quickly, large flame, and it's just easier to throw that wrapping paper away, or might be able to be recycled.
Oh, excellent. Well, you know what, Tabor? I think I'm going to have a great fire-safe holiday season, and you have a happy holidays, and I'm going to take my little tree and go home and take good care of it and water it. See you
Fantastic.
later, Tabor.
Happy
It's a go-
holidays, Scratch.
Oh, don't worry, I'm okay.
I'm glad.
I just got prickled in the face.
Uh-oh.
Ouch. Ouch.
Good luck with that tree,
Oh.
Scratch.
Frigidaire of Augusta, Georgia, announces the recall of about 200,000 Frigidaire and Kenmore Elite smooth-top electric ranges. Depending on the model, the surface heating elements can 1. Turn on spontaneously without being switched on, 2. Fail to turn off after being switched off, or 3. Heat to different temperatures than selected. This poses a fire and burn hazards to consumers. This recall involves Frigidaire, Frigidaire Gallery, Frigidaire Professional, and Kenmore Elite smooth-top electric ranges with the rotary knobs and digital displays. These ranges were sold at Sears and other national chain and independent retailers nationwide from June 2001 through August 2009 for between $1,000 and $2,500. Consumers should stop using the recalled ranges immediately and contact Frigidaire or Sears to schedule a free repair. You can contact Frigidaire at 800-449-9812 or visit the firm's recall website at www.smoothtoprangerecall.com. Wagner Spray Tech Corporation of Minneapolis, Minnesota announces a recall of about 300,000 heat guns. An electrical component failure inside the heat guns can cause them to continue to produce heat after the power switch is turned off. This can melt the heat gun's plastic exterior, causing a burn if the heat gun is touched and ignite nearby combustibles, posing fire and burn hazards. The recalled models include the Milwaukee heat gun, the Ace heat gun, and the Wagner heat gun. These heat guns were sold at major and independent hardware and home improvement stores nationwide from November 2004 through April 2009 for about $40. Consumers should immediately stop using the recalled heat guns and contact Wagner for a free replacement product. You can contact Wagner toll-free at 888-925-6244 or visit the firm's website at www.wagnerspraytech.com. Walmart Stores Incorporated of Bentonville, Arkansas announces the recall of about 4.2 million Durabrand DVD players. These DVD players were sold at Walmart stores nationwide from January 2006 through July 2009 for about $29. Consumers should immediately stop using the product and return it to the nearest Walmart for a full refund. You can contact Walmart stores at 800-925-6278 or visit the firm's website at www.walmartstores.com. Lamplight Farms Incorporated of Menominee Falls, Wisconsin announces a recall of about 720,000 flame guards on Clearview torch fuel containers. The flame guards on the recalled replacement torch fuel containers can malfunction and cause the containers to melt while the torch is in use, posing a fire hazard to consumers. These torch fuel containers were sold at discount, hardware, and home improvement stores nationwide from January 2008 through August 2009 for between $1 and $3. Consumers should immediately stop using the recalled flame guards on Clearview torch fuel containers and contact Lamplight to receive a free repair kit. You can contact Lamplight toll-free at 866-671-7988 or visit the firm's website at www.lamplight.com.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of On Call. If you have questions, comments, an idea for the show, please give us a call at 952-985-4700 or use the email address on your screen to send us an idea, question, or comment. Thanks for joining us. All fire units are clear.
How could this happen?
Minnesota suffers 3 deaths and $2.5 million in property loss each year at the hands of children.
I don't know.
All children have a fascination with fire. How will it affect your home? Paid for by the Minnesota Fair Plan.